I appreciate you letting me know, but
It's so nice.
it feels
For a plan.
feels a
He took
little
an overhead out of the
underhanded.
sky and drew an orange box. He
Yeah,
said,
my
"Here."
neighbors, you know, she's got a sump pump.
He did to me, and I said, "You're not gonna- I said, "You're not gonna get insured." So I told Goldstein, I said, "Listen,
Put
I
some
carry $1
pump in
million
and then
worth
they sold
of
it.
professional liability insurance."
No water in the basement,
Yes,
but
I know
outside
you
the
said.
foundation,
Yeah,
there's
she
like a
did
4-inch, 5-inch
She
pond of water just sitting there.
They're gonna say,
And I could
she's
just,
got more than 30 years of experience, she knows
that
that.
would just bother me.
He goes,
I'd have to get a pick and shovel out and see if I can
They
get
don't
rid
get
of
it.
it somehow. You know, put a fridge drain in or something. I went over and told her, I said, oh, yeah, a lot of water over here. And I haven't seen it come back from you.
"Someone listening to me."
Right in front. Well, something's got to keep Server's good. Okay.
It's different when it's just. Hit me with this 2 minutes before where it's not clear. And I don't think the gentleman didn't take a full bath. If you know what I'm saying.
Okay. That's fine, all right. How are you? You're good?
I think so. Yeah, most of them are working. Oh, you didn't like that last email I sent? How you doing, Marty?
It was from you, the resident.
There's a water bottle. It was what?
It was from you, the resident. Not you, the board member, but the resident.
Oh.
And it was like this, like I was reading it, I'm like,
Oh, wow. Yeah, I got a call from the mayor on that one.
Mr. Sylvester, would you?
Yeah, he didn't like it.
I don't remember seeing it.
Some people, opportunity.
Good evening. Calling the City of Florissant Planning and Zoning meeting for Monday, November 4th to order. Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Margario,
Here.
Sullivan,
Yes.
Gerald's,
Me? Yeah.
Martine,
Yes.
Sylvester is absent at this moment. Olds,
Here.
Nelke.
Here. Did you hear from Mr. Sylvester?
I did not, and this is the first time since he's been on the commission that I have not heard from him.
That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, so, all right.
Yeah.
Moving on, approval of minutes from 10/7/2024. Do we have any changes or amendments to the minutes from 10/7? Make a motion, we approve the minutes as they stand for 10/7/2024. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Gerald. Approving the minutes, what? Oh, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Second item on the agenda is the approval of minutes for the special meeting on 10/16/2024. Do we have any changes to the minutes for that? Make a motion, we approve the minutes for 10/16/2024 as they stand. Do I have a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Martine. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Item 3, do we have any announcements or comments, Ms. Irvin?
None.
Thank you, ma'am. LHTC business?
There is none.
Do we not have, where are we on the masonry? Is it not under the old minutes, old business?
It is waiting for the mayor to review before we give to council, at the direction of my director. He wants to have the mayor look at it, both versions, the versions that you approved and also the version that we discussed.
Okay. Record show that Mr. Sylvester showed. I do have one announcement. I don't know that everybody is aware, but Mr. Lee Baranowski apparently did pass away a week or so ago. I actually don't remember the date. October 12th. So, and the memorial is on the 10th at
The ninth,
the 9th?
the ninth at 9 a.m.
9th at 9 a.m.
Sacred Heart.
at Sacred Heart.
He is.
So, they say Mr. Baranowski was a longstanding member of this commission and an advocate for the city. All right, moving forward, under new business, PZ 11042024-01 in Ward 6. Request from Linda and Zoe LLC for a special use permit. First, we'll hear from staff, and then we'll hear from the petitioner. Ms. Irvin, can you please tell us about this?
Case number PZ 1104-2024-01 is a request from Linda and Zoe LLC for a special use permit with site plan approval and repainting of the exterior brick to operate Go-Go Boga Cafe with a drive-through at 1285 North Highway 67 in the B3 Extensive District. Mark Kilgore from TH Design Group is here to be their representative this evening. The existing site condition at this property is vacant following the relocation of Travelers Auto Plaza and existed under a special use permit in the B3 district. The petitioner is requesting the permit with a drive-through, and according to St. Louis County records, the subject property is a one-story brick building built in 1962 and is about 1,020 square feet under roof. The parking lot is paved and was constructed in 1985 and is 23,000 square feet with a double-wide entrance off of North Highway 67. Much of that right-of-way is in the MoDOT area. The existing pole sign is a legal, non-conforming use under ordinance number 5383, adopted in August 24th, 1992, and is permitted to remain on site. The petitioner will need to obtain a sign permit to change the face or upgrade the sign. Any removal of the sign will cause for the lot not to have a sign because it will not have enough right-of-way. Restaurant is defined as a building with food and beverages and offered to the sale for public for consumption at tables or counters, either inside or outside. On the building and lot takeout, and food and beverages for off-site consumption is provided. The building will conform to the parking section of 405.225 on lines 51 through 56. The building is going to require some screening of the rooftop units, repairing of a shed that already exists, and also the trash enclosure. Under the code analysis, painting is allowed for the masonry under repainting. In your packet, you will see some photos that I did take of the site and the condition of the brick, so it's going to take care to have that brick repainted. On line number 96, there is a staff review, and I want to talk about that tonight. The site is well known. It's going to fit well in that area. On line number 103, it says the petitioner wishes to repaint the brick, and the colors are to be provided during this meeting. The petitioner submitted a site plan from THD on dated October 15, 2024, showing the layout of the building, a parking drive-through, and a service window. The petitioner has requested seasonal outdoor seating and outdoor music with live bands. All bollards shall be painted with reflective paint, either white or yellow. Site lighting poles and bollards shall be painted. The wooden shed and trash enclosure needs repairing. On line number 113, we're going to eliminate the walk-up window on the site plan because it is not reflected on the architectural plan, and it will create a hazard for pedestrians and motorists on this site. The 2021 International Plumbing Code allows for a multiple-user toilet facilities that is open to all genders, so one bathroom is permitted. The existing pole sign, again, is legal non-conforming under ordinance number 5383, and the drive-through menu board was not submitted for review for this meeting. Staff recommendations are on line 123. Mr. Chairman, just for you, it goes all the way to line number 181.
I couldn't hear you over the thunder.
You've got a lot of reading to do tonight. That concludes my report.
Thank you, ma'am.
And for all of us who love painted brick, you see why we don't paint brick
Yes.
from my photos.
That's a prime example.
And one other thing I want to add before we go to the commission, there are security bars in the window. The code requires those bars to be removed when there is a change of ownership.
Thank you. Mr. Martine, do you have any questions for staff?
Nope.
Mr. Sylvester?
I don't think I do, but, was that, is this the one that, if there's any asbestos in there, in that building? No? Okay,
No, this is not the
all
one.
right. That was my question.
Okay.
Any other questions, Mr. Sylvester?
No.
Mr. Nelke, do you have any questions for staff?
I guess it's on the seasonal outdoor seating and music. I didn't see any plans as far as patios or protected areas or,
So there is a large enough parking lot that she would be able to petition some of that off, but it is not reflective on the site plan. It was our discussion when she first purchased the building.
but, I mean, if we put it in the motion, then it's gonna have to be on the plans?
It will be.
Okay,
This is why we're all here tonight.
that's all I have.
Stole my thunder. Mr. McGarry, no other questions? Mr. McGarry, do you have any questions for staff?
I do. On the plan views showing the existing and the future lounge, it looks like there's 2 exterior doors, but there's only 1 exterior door on the existing lounge, unless there's another door that I'm not picking up here.
So which one are you looking at? So that's going to be the architectural drawing,
Yep,
okay? And tell me which one you're looking at now on that page. On
the
page,
middle one.
so A3 or, you've got A1, A3, and
A3, I guess.
on-
Oh, I'm sorry, A1.
Is it A1?
A1. Is that a door at the back of the top of, on page A1?
So there is a door in the rear, yes.
Okay. So there's 2 doors, there was 2 doors, but now there's 1 new one and 1.
So there's an entry door, and then there's a rear door, and then if you drive around the building, there is a side door, which is going to be eliminated because we're coming through with a drive-through, and there a window will be created.
Okay. That's all the questions I have.
All right, thank you. Mr. Sullivan, do you have any questions for staff?
My only question was the live music. Is that
What?
permitted with the other businesses in the same area, or is it just?
So most businesses will not ask for it. She's got large enough lot to accommodate what she needs to without being disruptive. Sugar Fire is across the street. There's outdoor seating there, but it is not, they don't have live music.
So if Cugino's is right down the street, if they wanted live music?
They would have to come in and redo their special use permit.
Okay. My second thing I noticed was the natural gas meter that the utility companies have installed is probably needs to be looked at by your inspectors. It's dangling with one unistrut clip, and at the bottom, it looks like the valve handle is what's stopping it from falling through the pole.
Okay,
So I appreciate you looking at that. That's
Okay.
all I got.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gerald, do you have any questions for staff?
Yeah, some of the same stuff that's already been brought up. For instance, the drive-through. We don't know where, there's going to be a drive-up window.
So it is a drive-through. So if you look on the architectural or the engineer plans, and if you look on page 1, and if I could put this on the,
So it'll be the first window.
and I'll leave this up here for TH.
I guess my question is not so much,
So your drive-through is here.
okay,
You're going to see the cars coming around and stacking here, and then the pickup window comes
Oh,
right up
okay.
to that car there.
okay. Yeah, I was a little worried about the drive-up and stacking because of the problems we've had with Popeyes. Not enough stacking, they end up out on Lindbergh and being more of a traffic problem. So yeah, the traffic pattern, okay, that shows. Landscaping, did you address any landscaping for the property?
There is no room for landscaping on that property, but the back fence line is severely overgrown between them and the church. And then there's that's the church property, so
Right.
that needs to be taken care of. The other thing was the falling landscaping wall, and I think I wrote that in the report, that wall needs to be repaired.
Okay.
That's on the church property, but it belongs to this property here.
So there's no way to add landscaping? I mean, they got plenty of parking.
It's plenty of parking, but there's no way to add
I
landscaping.
mean, part of the reason for landscaping is to break up the sea of asphalt, in parking areas, so it doesn't look like a sea of asphalt.
Yeah. She
So-
wants to keep that so that rear area she can use for outdoor seating and any live bands that she may be allowed to have. But the front for landscaping, it would definitely be a site blockage for vehicles coming that way.
Yeah, well, depending on how big the landscaping is. But you also mentioned the music. You got the church property, but you also have residential. It's a clear shot for residential because there's nothing in between them and
There's nothing but land.
so, down the street, we got Sip and Smoke where, they're outside and the residents right behind them are having trouble with the music and all that. On line 54, we said, in 53 and 54, we say, keep the noise to a minimum, which is not measurable.
It is not measurable.
So, lawnmowers like 75 to 110 decibels, a highway's about 85 decibels, conversation 60 decibels. So I don't know if the commission wants to think about putting in a certain decibel level that as something to measure when the residents start complaining.
So putting in a level of decibel, a level of measurement, means that now the city will incur a cost of buying that equipment. Mostly that would be the police department.
We've always had that equipment,
Okay.
at least I did.
You did? Okay, I've not seen it.
It's a small little meter. It's not a big deal, yeah. But I mean, it's something that, at least you can hang your hat on
Okay.
at the property line. Okay, it reads 65, you're allowed 70, you're good to go.
Okay.
Residents can complain, but they may not like it, but at least you have a black and white line. So I guess let the commission think about that for a minute.
Okay.
If they're having outdoor seating, shall we also include trash containers outside to take care of, that type, stuff outside? Also, I noticed on the parking lot, there's three light standard bases without parking lots. One's out by the street and two are in the parking lot itself. So do you know, or should we wait for the petitioner? Are they going to replace those light standards?
So we talk about light standards in the report. Let me go to on line number 145, and it says all parking lots. That's going to be part of the motion on line number 145, that all parking lots should be a minimum of 0.5 foot candles and shall not project light or glare to adjacent properties, so it's
Right.
there.
That doesn't address though whether, because right now you've got like a hazard in the middle of the parking lot that you can't see because it's just a stump.
Okay.
It's not a light, just a stump sitting out there in the middle of the parking lot, waiting for somebody to hit it. Yeah. So I think either put a light standard in or remove it.
Or remove it, yeah.
Yeah, if
because-
you got enough lighting, for the parking lot, that's the only thing. It looks like you should have enough lighting for the parking lot with all the lights, but,
Right. I see the one you're talking about here.
and in your report, do we want to say anything about having to meet St. Louis State and St. Louis County health and restaurant standards?
We can,
That's not been in,
Pardon?
that's normally not part of our motion.
yeah, we
Oh,
normally
well,
don't.
It's just implied because to own a business in the county, you have to do that. We've not that in most of our other restaurants.
Well, I know we
That's been-
mentioned like MSD and State Highway and,
So we've
different
always
things.
used line number 166, we've used that language. The applicant shall comply with all Florissant codes and ordinances, state
Okay,
and
state
federal.
and federal, okay, yeah, that should cover.
Okay,
And then screening of the HVAC you covered.
yes, that is covered
Okay, I
as
think
well.
that's all I got for now.
Okay, thank you.
Also, I want to bring up, I understand your thing on the decibels, but you have to understand it'd be pretty complicated to set a hard and fast line on the decibel meter, because somebody on Lindbergh, like this location, ambient noise is probably way higher than,
It's about 85, should be 85 to 90 on Limber, so, yeah, setting it at 70 would be,
yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah.
compare this to sip and smoke, for example, the ambient noise is dramatically different. So I would caution this commission with setting a hard and fast line that doesn't work in all neighborhoods. Unless we're
Okay,
going to set one,
I guess the only thing I'm thinking is from an administrative, or, administrative enforcement, ordinance enforcement, what's minimum,
I understand that. I mean,
It's hard
I'm
to-
not going against it, I'm just saying we better consider everything when it comes to this before we just set a hard and fast line of 70 or 80 even, because depending on the neighborhood, I mean, you could set something to the effect of 20 over ambient, but then you gotta, what's the ambient? On a Sunday afternoon or Friday afternoon? So,
Fully
the
understand what
idea
you're
makes
saying.
sense, but it's really complicated, so I just want to be cautious.
How does the city handle noise complaints like that?
Judgment of the police officer would be my assumption, unless somebody tells me otherwise.
The police.
And it's pretty much the judgment of the individual officer. They get trained, they get paid, I don't want their job.
I know we have in the past gone out with the sound meter, There's mostly residential issues though.
Mr. Sylvester, you have another
Yeah.
question for
I was
staff?
just- Yeah, on 132, do you have the hours of operation on staff recommendation?
We do not, and the petitioner will give us that tonight.
Okay.
That's why I left it blank.
Okay.
That's up to the council. We can't say.
All right, anybody else have any more questions for staff before I call the petitioner up here?
I do.
Yes, Mr. Magario, please.
Under parking spaces, it says there's 18 spaces, I counted those, but it says there's a total of 42 in the present existing lot. Will the other spaces be sprayed and outlined, or is it just going to be an open area for parking?
I don't know what that's going to be. That was just a design for us to see, but the parking lot is pretty much faded out now.
Right.
So we'll leave that to the inspectors to indicate, to seal and stripe the parking lot.
Okay, but I think there should be additional striping in the whole
Okay.
rest of it, so it's just not a random
Okay.
random parking everywhere, because there's a lot of other space there.
It is.
And then, line 130 talks about 31 occupants. Again, the drawing shows a total of 17 seats in the building. Does that 31, is that all other staff? That's not a lot of staff, but is it?
No, it's going to be in and out, but the building can hold that much coming in and out of there and through the drive-through.
So there'll be a lot of people standing in line?
I don't know. This is a new type of business for me. I went to the one in Brentwood on Sunday, and there's never a lot of people there. It's in and out. It's a small cafe, so not heavy foods, but small plate foods.
All right. So should we reduce the number of occupants being posted as 31?
I
Should it be
based-
less, given the size of this building?
I based it on an A2 assembly and square footage from the code.
This is straight code mathematics.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't deviate from the building, so it puts a lot of judgment and onus on us that I don't particularly think we need.
I see.
Yeah, so it's considered an A2 assembly, but if I did it to a B assembly, she would only get 10 people based on if I did it as a business use, but it is an assembly use.
I see. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
No more questions?
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kilgore, are you present? Can you please come up, sign in, state your name and address for the record, please? Take your seat in the hot chair. Take your seat in the hot seat.
Hello, my name is Mark Kilgore, and I am a professional engineer. I work for THD Design Group, and we're the ones who have put this site plan together.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Tell us what you're thinking, and then we'll probably have a question or two.
I don't necessarily have any particular comment other than what this is an existing building and we're going to repurpose it. Same way with the existing sign that's to be repurposed. And I think that Debbie has pretty much covered everything. I did want to ask, where is the damaged retaining wall that we were talking about?
So it's right on the side of the director's side. Oh, I'm sorry, I could have gotten up for you. It's right along here. Yeah, okay. So if you could point that out to the commission, that, there's a couple bricks that have fallen.
Okay, I asked Debbie which retaining wall is the one that needs some repair, and she has indicated that it is this one right here.
And that is on this property, not the church property?
It's on this property.
It's on the church side, right?
Yes.
All right, so, let's see. Mr. Martine, do you have any questions for the petitioner?
No, not this time.
Mr. Sylvester?
And what color you plan on painting the building?
The question is, what color are we proposing to be painting the building? This kind of blue here?
There's two blues there.
Yeah.
Which one?
Both.
It'd be two-tone?
All right, well, I'll be honest, before I'm gonna sign off on that, I will need some type of rendering, elevation of how it's gonna look, you know, showing me two different blues, don't take it the wrong way. That can come out a lot of ways that I don't know that we're gonna sign off on, so we'll need probably.
An architectural rendering, color
Yes.
rendering.
Yes. I mean, those are probably fine colors, but need a little bit more detail.
Mostly white, just the column has the darker blue, but mostly white color.
All right, but we'll probably need, like, you understand what I'm saying? We'll need a.
Yes.
All right.
And I believe that it's indicated that we need a sign board, we need a picture, a diagram of the sign.
The menu board, yes.
Yep.
Mr. Sylvester, you had other questions?
This is just a small oversight, and this might be obvious, but you're talking about painting the building. That includes those gutters too? The gutters, they look pretty bad here. They need to be scraped and painted on the picture here. I'm talking about this picture.
Painting the gutters, yes, I believe that would be
Or
planned
replacing?
to be also. Yes, they don't look very good.
Yeah, okay. I guess that's about it.
Giving you the option. Oh, that's, okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Gerald, if you have any questions for the petitioner?
The three light poles that are absent, or the bases, what do you plan to do there? Do you plan to put new light poles up, or just take the bases out? Do you know?
Currently, we don't have any plans to make any alterations with the light standards unless that's required.
Okay, well, we'll have to check I don't know whether Deborah wants to ask for photometrics for the whole area. So that depends on whether you'll need additional lights to provide adequate lighting on the whole parking lot. But we don't want stumps sitting out in the middle of nowhere in a dark spot and people running around and hitting them either. So we don't, so it's a little bit of a safety hazard, but it's also from a lighting standpoint and a traffic standpoint. So you need to figure out what you're gonna do one way or the other on those, because two of them are right in the middle of the parking lot. And one's up by Lindbergh, so you'll need to figure out what you wanna do there,
Mr. Giles, if I may, Mr. Chairman, when the owner started the process, they were in the contract with the seller. He came back and took some of the lighting out while they were under contract, so that's why
No.
you see.
I can understand, but, I mean, on the other hand, something needs to be done one way or the other.
Here, and then back over in here, and I think there's a.
Yeah, there's three of them that are missing. And I don't know whether the lighting levels,
Yeah, we will need a photometric or,
if they put the lights up and you put them on and you go out and measure it, that might be enough. Otherwise, I think we need photometrics. Yeah. And striping the parking lot for traffic and pedestrian, protection is not a bad idea. If you're going to have outdoor seating, we probably want bollards or protection for in front of, where you're going to have outdoor seating, that type of thing. In general, I have no problem with the project. It's just that you got a couple loose ends, to take care of. Vehicle headlights, I don't know whether that's going to be a problem because, residential is that far back, but I am a little worried about the noise. What kind of bands are you planning to have? Are you like a three-piece combo, or are you going to do a full rock headbanger,
We don't have band, it's just soft rock.
ma'am, if Mr. Kilgore is going to speak, if you're going to speak, you're more than welcome to, but can you please sign in and state your name for the record?
We just need to know who you
We
are.
just need to know who said what. If you're going to relay everything to Mr. Kilgore, that's fine too, but we just need to know who said what for the record, ma'am.
And if you'll speak into the microphone as well, that will be helpful.
Yeah, I don't think the commission has much problems with like a three-piece, combo, something like that, but if you're going to crank it up, we don't want to disturb residential areas.
Yeah,
So
my name.
you understand that part.
Right. My name is Sarah Nguyen. I'm with Remax Resort. I help her to purchase the property, so I'm here to help her to interpret. So basically, we don't have a live band music. It's just soft rock music, very low volume. It should
Soft
be-
rock?
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
low volume.
Okay. Just so you know where we're coming from on the noise level.
Yes.
I understand you got a problem with Lindbergh. I mean, it's going to be noisy, So face the speakers toward Lindbergh, not toward, I really don't have anything else at this.
Mr. Sullivan, do you have any questions for the petition or for the petition?
No, I think everything's been covered. You got your hands full bringing it up to code, but
Yeah,
I'm sure you can make it. Looks like a nice project.
yeah, it's a good project.
Mr. McGarry.
This picture of the lot on your architectural drawing, it says that the existing sign is going to be repurposed. But the other large sign, I'm assuming that's, somebody's renting that property to have that big display
Oh, the
sign?
billboard?
Yeah, the billboard. I'm assuming that's, they're renting space to have that big billboard there?
What's the question?
There's a billboard up there.
That billboard is shown on the drawing, but it doesn't say it's going to be repurposed or anything. I'm
It's in this,
assuming,
it's in this picture, right?
yeah, I'm assuming it's staying there. It's probably somebody renting that billboard from the property.
Yes, currently it's active rented right now.
Okay.
We have a lease agreement, so it's gonna be continued to lease out.
Okay? But you're buying the whole property and that's
Yes, sir,
just
we
renting
bought
that
that too, yes,
for space for the billboard?
yes.
All right. And then, again, I'll ask, since I asked the staff, I think there needs to be some type of signage on the lot where additional parking could be
I mean,
occurring.
striping?
Yeah, striping.
Yeah, we don't have.
There's a lot of space there that's not shown as
Yeah, we found it.
dedicated to parking, so somehow you need to show where the cars would be going around in there, or parking, additional parking.
Mr. Chairman, so to be clear, we're asking for the site plan to be revised to show the additional parking in and around the entire lot.
Or areas that there's not parking on the perimeter of the lot that are clearly marked no parking or something. The entire lot needs to be accounted for lack of a better term, that some structure designed and laid out for the entire lot. That, I assume.
Yep, that's it.
I mean, we don't care, as long as it meets the parking code and they mark half of it no parking, that's fine. But as long as it's clearly designated what the plan is for that lot, that, to be honest, is way oversized for the business. So, you know, if they're gonna have another use for it, I'm sure we can work around that. We just need to understand what the other use and how they're gonna do it. I don't think we have enough answers right now. I think we need, like I say, there's one thing that kind of was touched on, but I think it is pretty clear, and we've been very consistent as a commission on this. If you're gonna have any outdoor seating we need to have ballards to protect the patrons, and they have to meet, and Deborah, help me out, there's a standard that we use for that, and I can't remember what it is, but
The highway rail.
what?
The highway rail
Well, the highway, or just the ballards that are evenly placed at 5 foot, but they, not just steel pipes, they're actually ballards that meet, and I don't know what the weight limit is, but, you know, I'm not talking 2x4s in the ground. These have to be capable of stopping a vehicle. And I know there's a standard, I just can't think of it this late in my day. It's been a long day.
We use MoDOT standards for what we did for Sugar Fire, and they
Yeah.
use the MoDOT standard.
As long as, yeah, like I said, so any outdoor seating, outdoor area, you have more than enough space. Personally, I think you could tear up some asphalt and put some green in, and you have a lot of space you can work with. And I think this commission would support it, but we need to have a little bit more information to do that. We do need, like I say, a detailed architectural layout as far as what that building's gonna look like in the blue and white. The detailed plan on how your lot is gonna work. I don't know what the time frame. I'll be honest, right now, with the information I have, I don't see how this commission can approve this. We like it and want to help you, but we need some more information so we can approve it to send it to city council. How long do you need to do that so I can make a motion to continue this? We are not back until the second, or the first weekend of December. It's in black and white. The 2nd of December is our next meeting, or then it will be in January. Can you have it? I'm not pushing you. This is, you tell us what you can do so I can make the motion.
December 2nd? Yep, that's what we want.
Signs to direct,
Soon as
which way to drive through. Where is
That should be on the plan.
Yeah, that's just it. We
I
need
mean,
to know how this whole
is it
process-
here? Is it here?
Yeah, that should be on the plan.
Yeah.
Deborah, I didn't see it in the motion to reseal the parking lot.
We normally allow that with the inspectors.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm the same way. We need the traffic flow It looks like there needs to be some signs directing which way the drive-through is. And do you have any idea where your outside seating is gonna be?
So there was a mention of directional arrows. We do have a couple of those on there
Have what?
for the drive-through.
Yeah, you would want to stripe the drive area. You would want to stripe that area.
Yeah, no, what we were asking is where, there's mention of outdoor seating, where is, how are you, what are you looking at for that? We're confused on where the outdoor seating,
Tonight's the first I've heard of that. So
okay.
We've got some more homework to do.
Right in front of the entrance, the main entrance.
Let's see here.
So basically, you'd have just a couple, just a few, not a
Small,
lot.
yeah, just few tables.
Yeah, just, if you're gonna put it in front, just make sure it's, like you said, all protected
Mr. Chairman.
cars.
That's, being in front of the building is not going to work. If you look at what we talked about with the walk-up window, the walk-up window and the drive-through window is not going to be good for the pedestrians or the motorists. So we're taking away the walk-up window on the plan, but going in the very back corner would be a better spot for your outdoor seating. So if someone came in and got their food and wanted to go in the back, that's away from everything.
Back by the,
You would have to cross the stacking lane or the drive lane, though?
Yes.
That's the deal there.
like I say, and I don't think some of these decisions have to be made tonight. I think some additional conversations offline with Ms. Irvin internally, and if you're confident you can pull all that together and come back before us by the 2nd, I think that's the motion I would make. If you think you need more time, we can make a motion to come back the first meeting in January. What do you think you need to pull this together, bearing in mind, Mr. Google, you're a THD?
THD Design Group?
Yeah, so they got to pull it together. I don't know your work log, your timeframes. We're all in different worlds, how long stuff's going to take. So how long do you think you need to pull this together to get, like I say, we need a pretty detailed layout of how this parking lot with the outdoor seating and everything that's going to meet all of that. And like I say, any outdoor seating is going to have to be protected with ballards.
You need a drawing on the ballards, too.
Yeah, and they'll have to be shown and all of that. So can you pull that together by the 2nd, or do we say January?
Mr. Chairman, I would need
You
it
still
to
want
my
December
office.
2nd? Or do you want January for the next meeting?
Next meeting, December 2nd.
December 2nd?
I would need it to my office by Tuesday, November 26th. You will, okay.
And there again, I'd still like to see some of that asphalt broken up a little bit with some green space of some kind.
Tuesday, November what?
26th.
26.
And if you go down the street and look at how Quick Trip did some bushes along the sidewalk area, I think you could accomplish some landscaping in that.
And well, also, you may want to think about trying to have your photometric done in that time. Just for one, it may dictate other things that you need to do. Because if you have to add lighting or anything like that, to be honest, it's going to change all your math on how you lay out your parking and everything else. So make sure I would suggest you try and get that done as soon as possible so you figure out what you need to do. To be honest,
That will be an outside consultant. We do not do lighting plans or photometrics, so that will be someone else.
well, I'm just saying, if you got to make a major change to get the lighting right, it's going to tear up everything else. it's your first thing, in my opinion, you need to get done. Because if you can't meet A, C, D, and E and everything down the road, it's just gonna be a problem when you have to tear it up to make the lights work, because that's kind of a non-negotiable. So those things need to definitely be considered. So I'm gonna make a motion, we continue this until the December 2nd meeting for them to pull the rest of this information together. Feel free, Deborah, I hope I'm not throwing you under the bus here, reach out to Ms. Irvin. She will help you and guide you in this. And
She's
I
the
think
best, she's the best so far.
So,
May I have a question? May we put the patio right here and put the parking around here?
yes, as long as you protect the patio with ballards on all sides that people can't, if the ballards
Get
are all
hurt.
about if somebody is looking at their phone, driving, because we know people, doesn't run into somebody sitting there having a tea.
Yeah.
It's all about protecting your patrons and our residents. So if you want to put it, you have plenty of space, all those things can be done, but if you don't have the building on one side, that means you gotta have ballards on all four. So that is an option. You have a lot of space, you can do a lot of really neat things in that space, but like I say, there's some stuff to think about, so. If you still think you can pull it together by the 2nd?
Yes.
All right, there's a motion on the floor to continue this to a second. Do I have a second?
A second.
Seconded by Mr. Nelke. All in favor of continuing this motion until the 2nd?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Like I say, Ms. Irvin will help you, and we'll see you in a month.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
I just sent you guys an email.
Hey Deb, in their new proposal coming up, can you have time?
Deserve it. Deserve it. All right.
This is our here.
Okay. Can I keep this? Okay, all right, thank you.
Moving on, item number 2, PZ 11042024-02, Ward 9. Request from Mario Badra Enterprises, Sweet Spot Cafe. Ms. Irvin, can you tell us about this, and then we'll hear from the petitioner.
Okay. Case number PZ 11042024-02 is a request from Mario Badra, MAJC Enterprises LLC, doing business as Sweet Spot Cafe, to amend the B5 Plan Commercial District to allow for a special use permit to operate a donut shop and cafe at 2575 North Highway 67. The existing property is a vacant property following the closure of Hawaiian Grill that existed under a special use permit in the B5. According to St. Louis County Real Estate Records, the subject property consists of a one-story brick building built in 1995 and is 8,000 square feet under roof. The paved lot is 24,080 square feet with two double-wide entrances off North Highway 67. The existing pole sign conforms to the sign code. The petitioner needs to obtain a permit to change the facing or upgrade the sign. Parking standards can be found on line 41 and is in compliance with section 405.225. Screening is required on the rooftop unit that is exposed to the front of Highway 67, and the grease trap in the rear needs to be screened as well. You do have photos in your package showing that. The surrounding properties are B3 and B5. Upon review, it would seem appropriate to recommend approval. The use will complement the neighboring properties in the area, which is currently zoned B3 or B5. The existing structure meets the front yard setback in the B5 district. The floor plan and site plan were designed by Bridget B. Keitel Architects LLC, dated 10/22/24. The staff recommendations start on line 79 and go all the way through line 128. That concludes my report.
Mr. Chair, do you have any questions for staff?
Let's see. Again, did we review any landscaping requirements for them? on
No,
the
the
property?
landscaping is already existing. What is there will be there.
Okay. The outside dining, Where is that gonna be, do you know?
I don't think I asked for outside dining on this one.
Okay.
Okay, there's no outside
I thought
dining
I
on
heard-
here.
Okay, I thought I read somewhere where there was some I noticed handyman is parking vehicles on the lot out back, and then they also have some material storage stuff out back on that. Is that gonna be an issue?
I did not compute that part of what they already have back there as part of their parking. I used the upper level, a few spaces in the lower level, and then the 10 spaces on the side. So it's not going to impact
Lower level
them.
with double doors on the lower level on the back side, which
Yeah,
could be used for something, but I'm not sure,
yeah.
about the inside, how that all works. I'm thinking that'd be where the outdoor dining is, on the lower level out back, but that may not work. But they also have a double gate. Did you notice they
I
got a
did.
double gate that would close off parking on the back side of that building? So is that gonna be any kind of an issue, or?
I talked to the guy at Handyman Hardware, and he said it's always there. It was never closed, even when Hawaiian Grill was active. He has no plans on closing it now. And it is visible, I think, in one of my photos.
Okay. The only other thing is, I noticed that we allowed, for the drive-up, a stacking of 5 cars. Do we have a traffic pattern or striping for the lot?
You know what, did I put a drive-through in this one? I don't think I did.
You got a 5,
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, there is no drive-through, so let's strike that.
okay, yeah, 46 talks about
Yeah.
stacking, so.
I
okay.
typed this
I didn't
late at
see
night.
where the drive-up window was, so that was
Sorry.
gonna be my next, okay. Let's see, what was the other thing? Maximum occupancy load is 94 occupants, including staff?
Yes. Again, it came out of the A2 calculation for assembly.
Okay, that seems like a lot, but, okay. No, other than that, I think, I don't have anything major. That's all I got. A little housekeeping, that one tree on the neighbors hitting the fascia on the west side, that probably needs to get trimmed back a little bit. Yeah, so other than that, okay. I'm done.
Mr. Sullivan, you have any questions?
Thank you.
Mr. McGarry.
I think I'd like to help add to the photo that's on the package, the aerial photo. Some of that lot is part of, on the far side, is part of Handyman Hardware. They have a portion of that back lot that's not part of the new Sweet Spot Cafe.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know exactly where that,
I didn't see that on the
where
drawing,
that
so.
gate is you're talking about, but there's a portion that they've used.
The gate's right at the, I guess would be the northeast corner of the building,
I see.
and it goes across, so it would block off the whole back lot,
So they're renting.
but, you know,
Okay. And I,
So here is, I think the gate, this is the arm right here.
that's one side,
Yeah.
and then there's one on the other side, yeah.
but I think the parking lot used by Handyman is like the last 4 spots.
Yes.
And so there is a limitation of where the parking goes back behind the building.
So on those very last 4 spots, I didn't count those as part of this parking because Otto owns both the hardware and the Hawaiian Grill building. So
Right,
I see.
didn't-
So this is
Oh,
a
okay.
rental and
This is a rental, yes.
lease agreement?
Lease.
Okay. I've gone to this Handyman more times than my wife will ever want me to say. But they expand a lot when they have seasonal activities. So hopefully there's a nice agreement between the two parties on expansion during their seasonal times at Handyman.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I think they'll be
actually own
fine.
the property.
I understand, but they use a lot of that space. That's all I had.
Mr. Nelke, do you have anything for staff?
Just for my information, on the occupancy load is 94. Is that how the fire department establishes their occupancy load? Don't they set the occupancy load?
You said it through the,
Okay, so it's the same thing the fire department uses, right?
but if you see here, they're building new seating in here. So these are cafe seatings along this wall.
Uh-huh.
And it's just, that code.
It's what everybody uses.
Yes, but it's strictly a math of what's the use, and it's very broad, and the square footage of the building. And it's typically way higher than you're ever gonna see in a building. I mean, I used to live and die by that.
Can I make, on that note, they do have a lower level, so was the lower level included in the calculation?
Not in this calculation, it was not. This is strictly just for what's happening on the first floor.
Okay, do you know what they're gonna use well, I guess we can ask.
We can ask them.
Okay.
We'll ask. Any other questions, Mr. Nelson? Mr. Sylvester, do you have any questions for staff?
I do not. I don't see anything. They pretty much covered what I.
Mr. Martine?
No, I'll have some for them.
I think we all do.
I lost my agenda.
Mr. Badra? Can you please sign in, state your name for the record, and probably answer a question or two?
Okay, sounds good.
Did you bring samples?
What's that? Now would be too obvious, right?
Nobody ever brings us samples.
Those are your copies to use.
Okay. Is there a sign-in sheet here?
There should
There,
be.
there used to be, it may have got
I
lost
see
or.
it. It's right there.
He's got one.
Okay. My name is Mario Badra.
Can you speak into the microphone,
Yes.
please, for the recording? Thank you.
My name is Mario Badra, owner of Sweet Spot Cafe. Here to answer any questions.
All right, I'm going to jump into the first one before we start with everybody else. I just want to point out something that Hawaiian Grill did that we told them to fix and they never got around to, that before you start decorating and putting your establishment together, I don't know if you can see on this, you see the windows that are covered that you can't see through?
Yeah, eyesore. Right,
Clear, open windows, you want to put a sign with a donut, whatever, but
right.
that is screening and that's a no-no.
Absolutely. No,
We told
15%.
Hawaiian Grill to fix that, and they never got around to it.
Okay.
So that's just the one thing, and then I'm going to turn it over to these fine gentlemen, but that one was just kind of we told them to fix it, and they ignored us. So, Mr. Martini, do you have any questions for the petitioner?
So you're going to replace the signage on the front of the building?
Yes.
And you calculated within our
Yes.
100 square feet? Okay.
Yeah, if they just replace the fascia, that's a 40-foot square sign.
Is there any change to the outside lighting?
No.
And we don't have photometrics for that, do we?
No, we don't.
Okay.
It was always.
It was very bright.
really Very bright when Hawaiian Grill had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Extremely
an
bright.
additional lighting next door, and, yeah. No fencing at all in the back?
None.
What kind of, is this first level going to be used at all?
We are just leasing the first level. We
top
do
level.
the top level. We don't have access to the bottom level. That's not Sweet Spot Cafe at all.
Oh,
Problem solved.
Handyman uses it, I know. I've been in
problem
there.
solved, okay. And what about the signage on the pole? Is that going to be replaced too?
We're planning just to change the face of the sign, the acrylic part of the sign,
Both top and bottom?
both top and bottom.
Okay. That's all I have.
Mr. Sylvester, do you have any questions for the petitioner?
I was just curious about the interior. What, I'm assuming you're not going to leave it the same, are you?
Structurally, it'll be similar, but it needs a lot of updates.
Yeah.
So that's what we're planning on doing.
Okay. All right. Looked like we got some schematics.
Yes.
on it. Yeah. Yeah, other than that, that's about all I have. Mhm. Yeah. I can see from your architectural drawing here what you plan on doing here. Yeah.
That's right.
I was just wondering on the inside, I noticed you said on the outside, you had tried to get Hawaiian Grill to make those changes that needed to be changed. But on the inside, who covers that of the inside? I mean, looking at
Any floor plan change will be done by the building department.
By the who?
By the building department, my
Okay,
department. So
okay.
we'll make
Typically not under our
sure
purview.
that all the seating is done, whatever changes on that plan will adhere to the building code.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that is typically not under our purview.
Okay.
Unless it goes down to use.
Okay, all right, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Nelke?
Just curious what the menu is.
Donuts, obviously, there's going to be some donuts. But we also are really heavy on the cafe side. So we have burgers, Philly steaks, gyros, fries, wings, yeah,
No alcohol.
ice cream, no alcohol.
I saw something say donuts.
What's that?
Donuts?
Donuts. Yeah, for sure donuts, pastries.
No, that's all I had.
Mr. McGarry?
So you're leasing from Handyman.
Correct.
That building is well maintained, but then you won't have to do any maintaining of the outside, they'll do all the maintaining?
Right, yes. The outside is pretty well maintained. He just recently sealed and lined up the, I think it was spring.
Yeah, well maintained building.
Yeah.
No other questions?
All right. Mr. Sullivan, any questions for the
No,
petitioner?
I'm good, he answered it already.
Mr. Gerald?
No, thanks.
All right. I have a suggested motion. Give me 1 second, please. Yes. No, I probably will. It's just one of those. This motion says, once you start, you'll have 180 days to finish everything you're doing. Is that adequate time?
That should be.
Okay.
That should be.
6 months.
Yeah, that should be.
All right, I have a suggested motion. I move to recommend approval to the city council, the request from Mario Badra, MAJC Enterprises LLC, doing business as Sweet Spots Cafe, to amend the B5 Plant Commercial District for a special use permit to operate a donut shop and cafe at 2575 North Highway 67, subject to the conditions set forth, with these conditions being part of the record. The maximum occupancy load shall be 94 occupants, including staff. Petitioners shall post occupancy load sign. The established hours of operation are 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday, Sunday, and Thursday, and 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. Are you closed on Tuesday?
I don't even know how I did that. I was working from home that night. I'm sorry. Let me, it's gonna be,
And there's a small correction also. It's 5:30 a.m.
We should have clarified that. I apologize, sir. That's on us.
That's okay.
I normally clarify that in this meeting, and I did not do that. I apologize. So I assume Monday to Thursday, you're open till 8 p.m., or Sunday to Thursday, you're open till 8 p.m., Friday and Saturday, you're open till 11?
That's correct.
that's correct.
And you are not going to serve alcohol, correct?
No alcohol.
All right.
We gotta have a band?
No band. No outside seating, no drive-through.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. The established hours of operation are 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday to Thursday, and 5:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Friday and Saturday. The kitchen is required to have a commercial hood and fire suppression system. Rooftop screening is required. All parking lots shall be a minimum of 0.5 foot candle and shall not project light or glare to adjacent properties, except if it's handyman because it's their property. All site and building lighting shall be directed down and inward. This is a no smoking establishment pursuant to the Clean Air Act, Chapter 250, Florissant Code of Ordinances. Hookah is not allowed pursuant to the Florissant Code of Ordinances 8947. The business operator is required to keep the area in front of the cafe free of trash and debris. A sign permit is required for any sign over 40 square foot and require plan commission approval. Windows shall not be concealed or tinted, and advertising shall not exceed 15% of the total window space. Prior to issuance of occupancy permit, this property shall be improved in accordance with the floor plan, which is attached hereto and made part of the record hereof for all purposes. Interior renovation shall start within 90 days of the issuance of building permits for the project, and shall be constructed in accordance with approved plan with 180 days to start construction. The applicant shall require Florissant Code and Ordinance, state, federal rules and regulations. Violation of codes and ordinance shall be a reason for the city to revoke the business license according to section 605.057. Special use permit shall remain in full force and effect and subject to all ordinances for the city of Florissant. Special use permit may be transferred to another while the business is in operation or within 6 months of closure. When Sweet Spot Cafe discontinues operation of the business for longer than 180 days, the special use permit herein granted shall no longer be in force or effect. Project completion. Project shall start within 90 days of the issuance of the building permit, and the project shall be developed in accordance with the final development plan and completed within 180 days of start of construction. End of the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Nelke. Can you please take the roll?
I actually have a question real quick, just to clarify on the motion. Is this a B5 or a B3?
It's a B5.
It's a B5 zoned?
The motion says that.
Okay. Okay, I was just wondering, because the first page of the staff report says it's a B3 extensive business district.
Where do you see
Where does it
that?
say that?
On this version that I pulled off of agenda.net, and it might be an old version, and that might be why.
Yeah, it's a B5.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. I just want to make sure for the public hearing and everything, sorry. Thank you.
No problem.
Margario,
Yes.
Sullivan,
Aye.
Gerald,
Yes.
Martine, Sylvester,
Yes.
Olds,
Yes.
Nelke.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's a very nice
So-
presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We will have a public hearing in front of the city council on November 25th. That's the week of Thanksgiving. It's that Monday. You should get something from my office sometime this week. I'll most likely email it to you, just because that seems to work better than actually putting it in the mail.
Okay.
If you have any questions, you can reach back out to me, but that will contain the public hearing notice. The notice will also be posted on the property, just so people are aware, and then we'll also have a letter with contact information for your council person to reach out to them before the meeting, okay?
Okay.
Thank you
Great.
so
Thank you
much.
so
Have a
much.
good night.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I have a few questions, but they're
What's your few questions?
item number 13. Why was that in the motion? Because we're pretty much saying that again at project completion. To me, it was very redundant. And I don't feel like that's normally in the motion. It's a curiosity on my part.
Item number 13.
And also,
Oh, I got you.
not that it matters unless if you do a cut and paste on anything else. Item 14 doesn't list county.
It does not, okay.
I would assume we would include them as much as we may not want to, but we probably should.
Okay.
That's just on a cut and paste going for, if you ever you know, if you, I think we can get away with it this time, we just want to make sure. Not trying to be,
You're doing your job. And I want you all to know that the Go Cafe, we've gone through many emails. I had to literally beg Mark Kilgore to show up. We've gone through emails about everything that you all wanted tonight. It's in every email, like, I need it by this date, I need it by this date. And Mark finally said, I'm not coming, they won't comply. The sign company dropped out, they won't comply. And I think we need an interpreter, but, you know, Todd said we don't have the money, I guess. I don't know.
well, it'd be pretty hard to figure out how many interpreters we have to have on staff. I mean, which, we're the, unless I'm mistaken, the second biggest city, I mean, the largest city in the county still, I believe.
And I think it's going to be a great business. I do. I've got to find a different way to work with them to get them across the finish line.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very, I mean, we all looked at it, it's like, they don't have enough information for me to approve this. And I really was gently trying to say, you're gonna have it in 30 days? I don't think you will.
Right.
It's been hard getting just this far. It's been hard. So I will, and I sent an email tonight on everything, so hopefully we can get them through the finish line in December.
I mean, there's a property that definitely needs to be developed, and
It does.
I say, I don't know, we have another boba tea in the city? I don't think we do.
We have one down in the Slips Plaza, 81, 82 area, somewhere down in near the Slips. There's a boba tea,
Next to Crunch Fitness?
French Fitness, but it came in as a permitted use because there's no food being sold, it's just a retail trade store.
Yeah. Like I say, something needs to go in there, or, I'll be honest, I'm surprised somebody in corporate America didn't try and buy that whole lot and put a fast food joint, you know, level it and start from scratch. That's, for as big as that lot is, I would think that
It's a big lot.
that would be a good candidate for corporate America coming in and just saying, here's the new Arby's, or whatever.
We started out with a rezoning first, and so we did a rezoning site plan because she wanted to rezone it to a B5 and then add on another building for offices, and because she has several other local businesses here in Florissant, and so she wanted to try to, you know, gain more land, but we just couldn't make it work with access and parking, and so then we went back to just the local.
What other businesses does she own?
She has a nail salon, and she has an office building over in Havershell that she leases out, so.
Where's the nail salon? Is that on
And the
Lindbergh?
T-Mobile building.
T-Mobile building?
T-Mobile
On
building.
Lindbergh, the water.
Across from the QT or Caddy
All
Car.
right, does anybody have any other business?
I have something that I'd like to bring up after we go out of session.
Okay.
If that's okay.
Somebody want to make a motion?
I'll make motion to,
Make the whole motion to adjourn?
I make the motion that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
Planning zoning meeting.
Second.
Second by Mr. Murillo. All in favor? Aye. Thanks, gentlemen.
So I brought up to Deborah about the building that was across the street. Don't want to have that?
I can't be
If
here.
this is city business, then it's either on the record or it's not. We can't, sorry. You either should have done before or not.
Let's go back in session.
We can either go back in session and discuss it.
It would not be permanent because it's not a zoning issue.
Not advertised.
Okay,
It's not an LHDC issue.
all right. Sorry, Mr. McGarry, we're not trying to be difficult, we're just trying to stay out of jail.
They are being difficult. They are being difficult.